going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and this time I'm going to be filming between Quezon Avenue and all the way to North Avenue to see what's going on. One thing that I noticed, taking the grab car in this area of Edsa heading up north is that they've been developing a lot of high-rise buildings, a lot of skyscrapers and condos. So it'd be nice to see what the vibes are out here. So far, I got off in just like a couple of shopping malls. I think it's also like a call center district with the MRT station. So without further ado, join me. So this here is Quezon Avenue MRT station. Then over here, I think these are a couple of call centers, but it got business in the first floor, like Shakey's, Tokyo, Concentris. Even when I was coming ahead at the MRT, I noticed a Tim Hortons, which is a Canadian chain coffee center, and it's called Centris Wall. So I guess you could walk around here and explore the area. It looks pretty cool. So not just simply like a call center, I guess it's also like an area where you could walk around, But when I turn to my back, you're gonna see some pretty interesting high-rise buildings and skyscrapers. So the weather today is hot, but I don't feel the humidity that much. So far I'm pretty much managing the weather. But let's see what happens after an hour of filming. This is part of Quezon City right here. Literally don't see much people walking because they avoid the heat and stuff. But yeah, like I tell you, Quezon City, I think it's a really underrated city within the National Capital Region of Metro Manila, because it has a lot of developed areas, has a lot of high urbanized neighborhoods, a lot of nice villages, and it's pretty massive, so it'll take it forever to explore the whole area. And not too far from me, ahead of me, is the GMA Networks in the area where I filmed the Tomas Morato Avenue and Timog Avenue. So it's like literally connected from one side to another one. So I think if it wasn't too hot, you could literally walk the whole area if you're willing to do a nice workout. I'm gonna walk towards North Avenue. Maybe I'll detour in some of the roads and see what's going on. North Avenue will take you straight to a couple of malls. The last stop in the MRT station, then they got Trinoma Mall, and then there's like overpass that connects you to another massive mall out here, which is the SM North Edsa. And I've been there, and a lot of people didn't really cover that mall, but there's also like another huge, massive mall that they got here in the metro part of Manila. Over here, the views are going to be actually nicer. Antro, Eden, Centris. And then I can see this all literally, it seems like this are new condos. It would be nice if I would go in the overpass. There's also like a mall over here, entrance station. So yeah, and when I got off the MRT, you can literally connect through the mall without having to go outside. One thing, a lot of Filipinos has been commenting in my videos nicely, but they're like, how the hell do I film in this heat? Well, I manage. It's not like I'm gonna stay outside the entire day, I just come, I film quickly what I gotta film. And then the good thing, like I said in my previous videos, in Philippines, they have like a lot of malls. So if I feel hot, I just shelter in the mall for a little bit, cool off, and then I hit the roads back. But yeah, that's how I literally managed to survive in this heat filming out here, So I noticed there's a little overpassage, so I'm gonna cross it to the other side. See if I can capture this shot over here. I think it's gonna be actually pretty dope. I'm a fan of going over overpassage and capturing the street scenes. Then that intersection over there is actually Quezon Avenue with Edsa. So it's like a busy intersection. There's actually no more Holy Week, so no more empty streets like I filmed that video. Now the streets are gonna be busy, so you see two vibes, when the streets are empty and when the streets are literally busy. So now let me go over the overpassage to show you what's going on. Here's an overpass, and this is actually a cool concept because they got an area for pedestrians where you can go on feet, and then I guess I'm gonna assume this is for the bike. You can roll it up or down, so it's actually a smart, genius idea. And I think over here, you're gonna see some nice views of skyscrapers that they've been building up. Like I said in many of my videos, a lot of people, when they come to Manila, the foreigners like myself, they mostly focus like on Makati, BGC, and they think that's literally the only developed part in Manila or the whole Philippines. But there are tons of neighborhoods that are super, super developed out here in Manila, in the metro part of Manila. Some of the intersection, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this intersection is getting me a little paranoid. So I'm scared of heights, and this one's like another level, but I wanna go to the other side to capture a nice view. You can see a nice angle. I think all of those buildings are literally brand new. So all over Edsa. Here you got nasty traffic jam at Quezon Avenue. And if you go all the way at the end, it's a park where I filmed, I think like a year and a half ago, which is Quezon Memorial Circle. So if you look at the map, it looks like it's really close, but it's actually a little bit of a walk to walk down there. But I'm gonna go straight, and I literally don't see much people. There goes the MRT. I literally don't see much people walking around, so it seems like it's just me in the heat. But hey, let's brave it, you know? Gotta do what we gotta do. And I could be wrong. Not sure if they're building a condo here, but I know somewhere around here, they're building the Metro Manila subway station underground, which is suspected to be open in 2028, you know. That's gonna be pretty epic. Let me see if I can get a view of this skyline over here. Pretty dope. Over here is where I'm literally gonna bake in the heat. So after the end of this filming, I'm gonna be called Bake Deep Fried Manny because of the hot weather, but I can see all the developments that's popping out, but this fence is literally blocking my view, so hopefully in the front, I'll show you what's going on ahead of me. I'm a little bit scared. Walking right here, you know, pretty close to the street, and then the busy highway of Edsa, which goes all the way up north, and it takes it straight down to Top Avenue, so, but hey, good vibes, right? So not clear how can you see, but there's a lot of condos out here. All over, and some modern skyscrapers. I don't know if there's a way I can walk in between the high-rise buildings. I'll probably figure it out. There's always some of the high-rise buildings, and it seems like it's a little bit semi-private, so I'm not gonna walk in there and film. If you have an idea what I'm talking about, then not sure this is like a bus stop or anything around here, but the bus stop is literally over the other side, but it takes you all the way through Edsa, and it can take you straight to Mall of Asia if you're heading down south. This little district is called Verdes North. So it's mostly like brand new condos. I see like an empty lot over there, so the way how they develop, I wouldn't be surprised if they start, you know, racing ground to new buildings. I'm walking around this side of the street to see what's going on. Then ahead of me, I think it's a couple of call centers and some of the massive malls should be, you know, not too far from here. This is what I like about the new developed urban areas, how they make the sidewalks pretty wide. And then of course they preserve it with trees, you know, especially in tropical countries like the Philippines. It's very important that they try to urbanize part with nature. That way, you know, try to preserve, you know, the weather a little bit moderate, even though it's super hot over here, but I think it can help out a little bit. And over here you see some of the high-rise buildings that they built. This is pretty cool. This over here is Solida. I'm not sure Solida is like a luxury residence, hotel, maybe a mixture of both. But he decorated pretty nice. And I think it's literally like a new building. Look how massive it is. I think I like how well developed the sidewalk is over here. So say Solida Resort North, so yeah. Maybe they got casinos and other business or anything happening over here. Then you see a little bit of the 360 view of Edsa Road. So pretty busy, you know, there's a lot going on. Then the last stop MRT is over there at North Avenue. So it's not really that far or a long walk. It's actually a really good walk, to be honest. There's more going on. I think this catered to the construction workers. Then you got street food sellers out here. Because they feed out with the construction workers. So, and this over here is Trinoma. But this is a nice looking mall. I walk here, I think, last time I came. And then you could take the MRT, walk here, and then there's an overpassage that connects it to North Edsa Mall. One thing I like about Manila, that they have all these buildings over here that they connect with one another. There goes the MRT, and there's a new high-rise building that they built over here. But I'm gonna see what else can I find ahead of me, and then I'll turn back and walk towards the mall, you know, to cool off. But luckily today hasn't been that hot. Then I think here you could take little buses. We'll take it to Valenzuela, you know, that's also another city municipality within the metro part of Manila. Then they got this ceiling over here that covers you from the sun, which I think is pretty helpful. So I'm gonna study my Google Maps to see if there's any other thing I can explore here besides the malls. Then you see, bus station combined with the MRT station. I think what I'm gonna do, based on what I'm studying in the map, I'm gonna walk to a regular street which is called Bukit Non. Not sure what it's gonna look like, but it's literally like near the massive mall. So I wanna see what does it look like around the mall, the surroundings. And then I'll probably turn back and walk towards North Edsa. Of course, to cool off and show you guys a little bit. As you can see, this is next to the mall. That's an overpass that will take you to the mall and to the train station. But then you can walk underneath if you want to continue walking up north. Wow. I wonder how these guys in suit can walk in this brutal heat. But I tell you, Filipinos are super resilient. They go hardcore no matter the weather, no matter what circumstances they have. I think that's like a new station too that they're building. Probably like an extension. So I'm gonna walk near it to see what's the vibes. I think there's a lot of ceiling out here, so it protects me from the sun. But I'm enjoying this walk so far, it's really cool. So a little change of plans. I was trying to walk all the way towards the end, but they're renovating the street, so now I got a shortcut for the mall. That's okay, again. Maybe it's telling me to take a little break from the heat. Even though it's not too bad today, but you can see how beautiful this mall is. See, pretty big, pretty massive. Looks a little bit like Glorieta, or like a Coliseum. As you see, a nice mall. This is part of Ayala Mall, so it's like another mall brand out here in the Philippines. Made it outside the street now, and I see an overpass, so this is literally like North Avenue over here. Oh, this is where they're developing a new, I think it's an LRT station. I can see it right here. But yeah, I'm gonna cross the overpass towards the other side, which should pass right in front of the mall. This is some of the new buildings they pop up, and of course, Trinoma Mall, then they're building this over here. I wonder if I'm able to walk in the side of the street with all the developments that's going on over here, but there's only one way to find out. I'm trying to walk by the mall all the way up a little bit more up north, so yeah, just look at this traffic jam. Much better if you take the train than taking a Grab car. But now let's see what can I find here. Yeah, I do remember they were building a new rail line. Not sure what type of train this is going to be. This is going to be one that will take you to some of the outside provinces outside of Manila. But it's good, you can see how much progress is happening out here in Metro Manila. So, but let me walk forward to see what can I find. Hopefully the street is not closed. But if it's closed, then I'll just do a detour inside the mall. Another vibe, this is not too far. The mall literally separates Edsa with this. Edsa is literally gonna merge over here. And then to my right should be North Edsa Mall. But I wanna make it to the regular street to see what's happening out there, Like I'm being pretty blessed today, walking under the overpasses and stuff is protecting me from the heat. So I don't need no umbrella today. I can just walk under this and be good to go. Yeah, this station looks pretty big. And it's funny because towards the Edsa area, I saw another station too. So I'm not sure if it's gonna connect with this one. But I'll do a little bit of my research once I finish filming the video and I get back home. This is underneath the new station that they're building over here. So in a few years, it's gonna be pretty accessible to get around many parts of Metro Manila. I can start seeing to my right SM North Edsa Mall too, but I think I'll leave that for last. I'm passing the first level of SM Edsa, which is to my right. This is where people can park. Well, you can't see much here. People can park, you can take your taxi and buses over here. This is it over here. It does have a little bit, if you go inside, it has a little bit of resemblance from Mega Mall. But the same company, SM, but I'm gonna walk straight to see what can I find. I even see a Tim Hortons from a distance too. And then in reference to the highway, I'm the only foreigner walking around here exploring this area. It's at the mall. If you go in the mall, of course, you're gonna see fellow foreigners. But it's pretty nice to see the developments happening right here. You can see the stations. I'm not sure they're gonna keep extending it more and more. Seems like it. Then I see more condos or high-rise buildings over there. And this is a jeepney station right here, so you can capture your jeepney and go to other parts, like around Quezon City, and I guess also like the metro part of Manila. So it literally says it there clearly, jeepney terminal. But I'm gonna keep walking straight. This is the other station that I was looking at. So I'm not sure what station is that. I'll show you how you take the jeepney. It's so packed that you've got a guy literally hailing in the back of the car. That's dope. I haven't seen that in so long. But I guess when it's packed, that's how they ride it. I'm doing a little detour. So, shout out. So I'm doing a little detour towards the other side and see the views of the new skyscrapers that are popping up. So I think I gotta go over this way. I tried to go one way, but it was closed. Here's gonna be a nice view. So it's like the mixture, the intersection of North Avenue with Edsa combining together. So this is the new station that they're building over here. And I think this is another terminal too. but I want to show you the views ahead of me. Then you got Edsa and skyscrapers going on, so you know you can cross one street to another one, connect from one mall to another one safely, you know, without having to go, hello sir, without having to go to a busy, and this is Edsa right here. And then the mall, you know, it goes all the way towards the other side. But I want to get the view of this new high-rise buildings that they pop up over here. I think over here is where the view is going to be actually pretty dope. So they even have a hotel here, Edsa Hotel. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like a mixture of condos. It seems like you could go inside the building. And this over here, it's like a main street. Wow, they're going to build something else. I'm not sure if it's a highway or another train station, but I see this. Wow, it's crazy that they're exploding up with construction all over. And then a 360 view. But I'm just gonna turn back and walk past Edsa to see what can I find, probably make it towards that regular street, if it's available for me to walk there safely. And then I'll probably do my grand finale inside the mall. So then it keeps going. Seems like they built another modern overpassage. That is really good, you know, that they do that so you can connect from one neighborhood to another one. It's actually really busy out here. Besides the mall, this is also like another district out here in Quezon City. Just gotta walk around and explore. Let me see if the street takes me straight towards the other road that I want to walk. Overpass, it literally looks like an overpass from an airport or something like that. This is once you pass the mall. You can see how busy Edsa is over here, the noise and everything. A couple of hotels on the other side of the street. This is why I love this city, you know, just the action pack that you can find in every neighborhood. And one more block ahead of me, I'll make it right, and this will be like a regular neighborhood. So I want to see how the vibes changes. And in the back, it will connect me to the other side of the mall. So, you know, it's going to be actually pretty dope. But yeah, let's keep walking. I think it's ahead of me. I can see it. So let's see how the vibes change. Can't really see it, but to my left on top is the LRT. And I think like ahead of me is actually the last stop. So I'm not sure in the future they might connect it with the regular MRT, but that would be a good idea. And now I made a detour in Corregidor, I think is the name of the street. So it's just like a local street out here. But I just want to see, you know, how the streets looks like around the mall and the busy areas. So far as you can see, it's a well-paved street. You know, they got a couple of houses over here. Probably a few barangays, but you know, I just made a turn here, so if I walk forward, I'll probably see what it looks like ahead. This is what it looks like. Kind of like a residential street. I think in the nighttime it's actually pretty lit and pretty dope. But yeah, so far I'm loving it. It'll literally take you forever to explore all of Manila. Like, it's just huge. But then here, really nice. See, they got carinderias, food stalls, motorbikes you can park here and get your food. And it's even busier in the local streets like this. Just local streets here if you make a detour. And more eateries. So some of those restaurants are probably, you know, affordable. And I'm pretty sure like the food and the taste must be actually really good. More in my other side too. So it's like both ways that you walk. It's pretty interesting to look at. And then this street would go up the hill. That's dope. And some new buildings that they pop up over there. So once again, I'm the only foreigner walking around here, which I love it though. You know, I love going deep inside neighborhoods to explore and see what's going on. This is how the street continues once you do a turn. It takes you towards where some of the new buildings, I think where the new buildings is where I'll make a right and it should take me back towards the mall, North Edsa. And now after a while of being outside, that's when you really start feeling the heat kicking in. Oh wow, they got a car wash out here, nice. Washing cars. I wonder if they can wash me, it's hot. You know, put me some soap, wash me, and then the heat will dry me natural. So I think that's a good idea because it's like 100-something degrees out here today. Of course, Jollibee right here. This is literally in every corner of the Philippines. So I look at the temperature online, it's literally 105 degrees. That's about 40 Celsius, so it's expected to be like 108 later around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think it's only, wait, I even forgot to check the time. It's 12:22, so it's early. And already we're cooking out here. But you already know how I do. I'm always out in the streets. Here we got a regular street. Just a local barangay. Then you got the ambulance right here. backing up. And I'm gonna walk here. I like how they decorate the streets with this. You know, it makes it look pretty nice. And then, gotta make my right, and that would take me straight towards the mall. Look how they pop out these new condos. A lot of the condos in Manila, they look similar with the windows and the balcony. And this is the other street that would take me to the mall. And local vendors here selling fruits. That's really good for the weather. It will hydrate you. I tell you, no matter where you go in Metro Manila, even if it's a little local street, you'll find vendors, you know, with a walking distance, so it literally has it all. And I'm gonna walk ahead, and I think the mall should be towards that side. So here they got a kuya doing barbecue. Nice. Street food right there. This is a nice local street, literally within blocks away from the mall in Edsa. Kind of gives me the vibes of New York City when you're in the main road and it's super busy, and then you do a detour in one of the regular streets and it's just peaceful and quiet, you know. Kind of gives me like a little bit of that same vibe. So here I'm noticing a few foreigners. It so happened there's I think a university around here. So, you know, they come here to the Philippines to study. And the Philippines, you know, a lot of people, they speak really good English. So it's actually really helpful. It keeps going here, the barangay. And I can see all over they have the politicians' pace. Because I think next month of May, I think May 12th, there's elections here in the Philippines. So, you know, I'm not gonna be around here, I'll be in another country filming, but I heard they celebrated pretty big over here. And yeah, it just keeps going. Carinderias, you know, there's a lot of them. So I guess the students come out here and eat. Oh, this over here is called Quezon City University. Oh, that makes sense. So they got a university right here, literally right behind the mall. Like I said in one of my previous videos, Quezon City has a lot of universities, and some of the most prestigious universities in the Manila area, maybe Philippines, are out here in Quezon City, like the Diliman University. But now I think I'm just gonna cool off at North Edsa Mall, walk a little bit around and do my grand finale over there. Inside here, this is the annex. It's like an extension of SM Edsa, and it's pretty big, but I think if I walk towards the other side, it will connect me to the original mall. It's good to cool off a little bit in that part of the mall. Now they got this overpass that connects you not only to the other side of Edsa, but then to the other side of the mall. It's a massive mall, but even out here, it's pretty beautiful to look at. I'll show you. So we got this here, and I think in the nighttime, it lights up with beautiful lights and stuff. Then they got like a little bit lake going on over here and flamingos. So it's pretty nice how they preserve the malls out here in the Philippines. The other side of the mall. Kind of similar to Mega Mall a little bit, but you know, much more busier on this side. Like I say, comparing to the United States, the malls are dead here. Here, the malls are actually pretty busy and alive. You know, the families come out here. But I think it might also help that it's super hot here, so the mall is a good way to escape, you know, the heat and cool off over here and just walk around, have food, or just, you know, vibe with your friends and family. See how nice it is, nice and organized, and pretty massive. Got out the mall, walking out here. I'm just following with the people. I'm trying to make it towards the other side of Trinoma. So it seems like that's the MRT 7. I guess it's like an extension they're doing out here, which is really cool. But I think I'm gonna start wrapping up my video out here in the Philippines, exploring North Avenue, Quezon Avenue. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.